Hey everyone, we are here live on Twitch, Facebook, and then after this is all said and done and over with, the audio and this video will also be up on YouTube and all of our audio podcast platforms. So tonight's episode's heavy with the IPAs, and we got one Logner.
Boo.
Which has a really cool story, which we'll get into then. But the four beers that we're going to start with kind of have where my vacation started. So when we went up to Cortland to see my dad and go take care of that. Actually, before I get into any of that, if you guys are watching and enjoy what you're seeing, hit that like, hit the follow, hit the subscribe buttons wherever you are. Cool stuff happens on the screen. I'm just saying. It's cool. Whoever's vibrating.
Not me.
Is it me? It might be me. Cool stuff happens on the screen if you hit buttons. Live chat is going, so we can see the live chat. Let me kill the main down a little bit there. We're a little hot. We have merch page. Go check out the merch page. Go check out all that fun stuff. All of our social medias are ticking above my head. You can go follow us on all those platforms. All right. So anyway, get to Cortland to go visit my dad, and we go to the I forget the name of the bar now. I have it posted on the page, and I don't remember what it was.
Good grief, Charlie Brown.
Totally unprepared.
Oh, my God.
It's okay. No.
Just when you think everything's getting professional.
When you think we have it figured out, it just
stumbles.
While I'm pulling this up, but if you guys can tell, with the new laptop that we've been talking about getting forever now, it's here, and this is one of the benefits to it. It's this cool little live stream setup, so I'm excited to bring up video back.
Yeah.
And it's nice to not have to be up till 5:30 in the morning to do video edits because it's done. All I do is upload the file.
Yeah, that's cool.
We went to the Central City Bar and Grill. Now, we literally got there 5 minutes before they were going to close.
Oh, that sucks.
And I guess because my dad's a regular, because he literally lives right across the street from it, they hooked us up. I don't remember the bartender's name, but she was very, very nice. And I said, hey, you guys do 4-packs to go? She said, yes. I said, make me a 4-pack. She made it, and I was kind of watching her. I was like, what was that one you put in there? And she actually, instead of the Thin Man Brewing Company, she gave us 3 from Beer Tree. But the one from the Beer Tree she put in there, we already had on the show, and it didn't go over very well.
Uh-oh.
It was Catman.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I had that one.
I think me and you gave it like a 2.5.
Oh, yeah. That was when the It's Just Beer guys
Gave us a
mix. Yeah.
So I asked her if she could swap out the Catman for something else, and then she picked Galaxy DDH Bliss, which I'm cool with because I like Galaxy hops, so we'll try that out. So if you want to crack that first one, Ben,
Sure.
we'll get this started here with the...
So this is Thin Man?
Thin Man, I looked it up quick.
Yeah, because I brought one, I think just the regular Bliss to the show, maybe. Or I had the regular Bliss.
I believe so, yeah.
And I actually have this one pulled up then, too. So
Cool. Read it off.
I try to be
The only one
at the ready.
The only one I'm stealing on you is I'm going to read off the Hazleton Hero one.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So this is Galaxy Double Dry Hop Bliss by Thin Man Brewing Company.
Smells good.
It's a double New England IPA, clocking in at 8% alcohol by volume. There's 336 check-ins at 4.12 average. It's hoppy, aromatic, fruity, floral, and tropical. And Thin Man Brewing is from a microbrewery in Buffalo, New York.
Yeah. Now you guys said you've had Thin Man before.
Yeah, we had that. The one that's really cool is that Trial by Wombat that has the wombat on it. It's like a real picture of a wombat, and it's like so funny because it's just like this huge picture of this wombat's face.
It's like graphic. It kind of reminds me of like Ren and Stimpy, like Bob Camp art.
Yeah,
in a way.
And I think didn't we have like some money one or something on I brought?
Yeah, I forget which one that is.
That did pretty good, I believe. Yeah.
This smells fantastic.
Yeah.
No, this is right. This is where I'm at right now.
All right, just if I had to score just on my nose alone, it's a high 4.
Ooh. That's just delightful. That's very delightful. I really like that.
The worst thing is, like, I ate soup tonight, chicken noodle soup, and for some reason, like, when I eat soup, it's, like, really, really salty, and whenever I have, like, a beer after I have soup, it always, like, doesn't taste very good, you know?
Oh, man.
So, like, initially, I'm getting, like, this salt, my palate's, like, screwed because I ate soup for dinner, but, yeah, I can tell this is good.
Yeah, this is very drinkable. It's very light, too. Like, as the label has it, they're not, like, they're in bliss, and it's like astronauts and stuff. So
Yeah, I'm trying to. We have my vacation mapped out here on Facebook. We had all the locations that we went to. We didn't go to all of them, but I can kind of remember some of them because I'm not gonna lie. So we went to this one vacation. My dad was like, "We got to go here, here, here. We have to get this done by this time. This done by this time."
it never works out.
And so we were rushing to get beers, like just getting beers done, and it was just. I was getting hammered, like I was smoked. Actually, but I did pull up some news while I was there too. So while we were on vacation, I did my first Sip Brew Box unboxing before I left. The breweries in Pennsylvania guy made new glassware for the Black is Beautiful in Pennsylvania collection. If you did order your glass, they did have a second wave. I think that's already done again.
Yeah.
But they raised almost $4,000.
Yeah, I actually got one too when you mentioned it.
Yeah, I ordered one as well. Yeah, so that should be coming in the mail anytime now. The Pilguru guys just did a collaboration with Chatty Monks.
Yeah.
With Dave. So Dave used to work for Tattered, right? And then he left and went to Chatty. I thought I remember seeing him at Brewfest somewhere else. But he's a really good brewer, so wherever he is, he's super talented.
Yeah, absolutely.
And those guys doing a collaboration, I'm on board with.
Yeah.
And speaking of the Pilguru guys, my shirt came in. I just didn't get a chance to wear it and show it off. My I Hate Tony Deppen shirt.
Yeah.
Because he plays a heel, but all his shirt proceeds all went to domestic violence and sexual abuse victims.
Oh wow.
Because everything that's going on in pro wrestling, he's using his powers for good. So he's a cool dude, man. So good shout out to him.
Good job, Tony Deppen.
And the Pilguru guys also brought back with Snitz Creek the Ruby Soho.
Oh boy.
That was out again. We posted about that.
Oh boy.
If you haven't had that beer, you messed up because that's a fantastic beer.
Yeah, you goofed. Yeah. That was nice. That's a very good. That's a very good summer sour for real.
Yeah, it's just an all around. I was almost a 5, I believe, for like 2 people at the table. And my dad hates sours.
Yeah.
We do have new merch on the page too. So if you're looking to go to breweries or go to look at things, we just got masks. You can get some masks. Bangin' Beers podcast masks. So yeah, some of these locations we were gonna go do, but we didn't go. So yeah, these are the first couple beers we had there. When I was at the bar, I got to have some Sloop beers. I'm a really big fan of Sloop, and Harrison from Mitch's Beer, he helps those guys out. Really nice guy. He's one of the brewers there, and they said that Sloop kills it at that bar. They do a great job. I forget what the 2 I had, but they were both fantastic. But
hey, as long as you remember it was Sloop and they make some really good beer and they're best sellers, why not?
I think the first one I had though was a Saranac.
Okay, Saranac.
Yeah. That was a good beer too.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right. So what? We'll start with you, Jason. What do you score in this one?
I really wish I didn't have soup because I just really taste
more?
like salt. Oh, of course I need more. Go to Ben once. Let me hit this one more time.
I'll give it a solid 4.25 just because that has great drinkability. You really taste the hops. It's very light. 8%.
Really?
8%. That is pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. But no, seriously though, that is actually a really good double dry hop Galaxy beer. That's very smooth. You can have a few of those and you'd be flying for the night.
It is good.
Yeah, I really like it. I'm gonna. I believe I'm gonna. I think I did the same thing you did. I think I went 4.25. I did 4.25 as well for me.
That is definitely a solid. That's definitely a solid Galaxy beer.
I'm gonna say 3.75. I mean, and I don't know if it's just me. Like I said, just that
you fucked your palate up.
Yeah, like that overwhelming taste of like salt. Like I'm getting a really salty taste. You know that I think like it may be a 4, but I'm just gonna go 3.75 right now.
Still great score.
Yeah. I like stuff from Thin Man. Like everything I've had from Thin Man has been really good. The one we had, it was Burning Money. That was the other one.
Burning Money,
That
right.
Trial by Wombat we had. So there was a couple different ones, but yeah, very good.
Just trying to find the sweet spot here with the levels.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
that's fine.
my headphones, like I can't hear myself in my headphones.
I turned a lot of us down
Oh,
because we were
that's
hot.
cool.
We were hot mics. All right,
Well,
so
I'm
the
always hot, you know.
next one here is the Flip the Turtle New England IPA, a 6.8 ABV from Beer Tree Brew Company. Yeah, once again, I did not pick these, so these are all random beers that were put out for us. Since Ben is still nursing his taster here, we'll pass that over to Jason.
I forgot we have the Banging Beers like table check-in spot. That's so cool. I love that.
And what's the name of that one, Tony?
It's called Flip the Turtle.
Okay, Beer Tree.
From Beer Tree.
Okay, cool. I have that one up then too.
Let's take a quick photograph here.
And with,
Really like
with
that
that
one.
last beer, you know, I'm gonna say, I mean, it is between a 3.75 and a 4 for me. Just 3.75 right now.
Just kind of stuck, yeah.
Yeah.
Just that like little bit there, I was just like, that smell, the taste, that just hit that little like that little sweet spot there, you know. Really like it.
You said I'm always hot, and then Billy just writes. Jason says I'm always hot, and no one reacts.
What can I say?
Are you gonna read this one off?
Where's
Sure.
that? Where?
Yeah. Flip the Turtle is a Beer Tree Brew Company New England IPA clocking at 6.8% alcohol by volume. It's an NE IPA brewed with soft white wheat, wheat flakes, oat flakes, and a 2-row barley. Whirlpool with Michigan Copper and Citra hops, and double dry hop with Citra and Amarillo. T45. Bellies up.
This one's definitely got more of like an earthy taste for me.
One check-in. One check-in at 3.75. One of my friends. Everyone has 405 check-ins, clocking at 4.09 overall.
Try it's like an earthy taste to it.
And Beer Tree Brew Company is a microbrewery from Port Crane, New York. Whoa.
No.
I don't know what the fuck just happened there.
It's a bit drier.
Yeah, it's like
It is a bit drier. Oh my
swear
god.
that camera comes into play when we see Tony scrunch up his nose and.
No, like I took a big mouthful of it, full of it.
I bet.
And it's just like the that dryness like sucked everything out of me there.
It's like an hour space.
It was like boozy, but then dry.
It's good. I like it. It's got that. For me, it's definitely got that earthy taste. It reminds me of like that beer from Soul Artisan. Now that's Separatist. Good.
Good. Okay.
It reminds me a bit of that.
This would be one of those beers if I drank this in front of the brewers, there's no way I would be able to hide that initial face. I'm gonna go in for my second one, but I don't know if I was feeling the first one.
I like it. Good to me.
It might take a few sips to get that,
It goes down weird. It goes down like thick, doesn't it?
What's Billy's comment on the shit you're saying?
I know, right?
See, I'm like the worst person to ask that. I really am, because like I think that's just like regular. I just think it's a regular beer.
It's kind of got a little oily taste to it.
Not oily. It just I don't know. Like
it doesn't seem very thick or heavy to me.
It's weird. It's an interesting beer.
Kind of sort of waxy, maybe.
I don't know. It's interesting.
It's one of those.
I don't hate it, but I'm not sure how I feel about it. 3.25.
Yeah, I would probably give that. Yeah, I'd probably give it a 3.25 too, just because like I mean. Toolbot.
You really
Toolbot.
put it out there. Tool. I'd give it a 3.25 Toolbot.
3.25. But no, I really like the first one better. That one like kind of dipped, and the way that it tastes dry. I mean, I was looking for more of a juice versus a dry, so 3.25 for me.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm confused on the turtle. I don't know how I feel about it.
I like it, man. It's more like it's probably like, again, it's kind of like between a 3.5 and a 3.75 for me. I like that earthy kind of taste. You get that sometimes from IPAs, like I do personally. Not all of them have that, but when I get that, like, so I don't know, it's like an earthy taste. It tastes good. I mean, I like it, but I'm just gonna go 3.5. I mean, it's good, but it's not like crazy good.
3.2. You went with 3.25 as well.
3.5.
3.5.
3.5, okay. A quarter up, so that's all right.
Yeah, I mean, so far decent.
All right, we're hamming these home.
Is there more left there?
Yeah, there, you could finish that.
All
More than one.
right.
All right, this is our last beer tree, Brain Stew, double New England IPA.
So I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of like caught my pants down there. So Brain
Stew,
Brain Stew.
like Green Day.
Brain Stew.
Oh, sorry guys, I'm smashing shit off the microphones.
Oh my God, what is going on? My God. So Brain Stew is another Beer Tree Brewing Company beer. It is a double New England IPA, clocking in at 8.3%. 1,488 check-ins at 4.21. Brewed with 2-row, oats, wheat, and hopped with a combination of cashmere, Ricau, and mosaic hops. Very soft on the palate with a floral and stone fruit aroma.
I have a friend who gave this a 4.30, so he's a fancy pants. Now, one of the things I got told about on Untappd is I don't write anything in my reviews, and I said because I want you to come hear what I talk about at the podcast. So
Yeah,
I don't really.
right. I rarely say anything either.
If I write, I will write stuff if I'm not recording my review on it. If that makes sense, yeah. So if you are following us on Untappd, I should add that to the thing for this.
Yeah,
It's like our Untappd names.
That would be cool, yeah.
Yeah, I should definitely. In the chat, you have to write them down, and we'll put them in there.
I try and give my description, like what I actually say here, so then that way it just is pretty consistent.
Yeah.
It's like, that's pretty consistent. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what everyone says. They just like, oh, no, he talks like this.
You never know.
You gonna read this off?
Tony, I did.
Did you?
Yeah. I rattled it off pretty fucking quick. All right, we're gonna cross.
Yeah, that's a good call. So I read something, Billy. You could probably help me out in the chat there. They said be careful streaming with Twitch and Facebook because it goes against the TOS. But I looked it up online, and they said that they don't care if you stream on multiple platforms at one time. So I don't know how true that is. So,
TOS, what's that?
Terms of service.
But Twitch is weird from what I've been hearing. That they're really strange about some of their things. But
That's interesting.
yeah.
Are you okay there, Tony?
Yeah, my knees is a little bothering me. I'll have a couple more beers. It'll go away.
A little janky.
Okay.
Yeah.
That humidity getting into your
The rain.
joints.
It's raining.
Yeah.
It's
That humidity bot.
I don't know about the humidity, just the rain.
Okay.
Rain hurts my body.
It's like, it's gonna rain, Heidi. It's gonna rain. I'm out on the porch
I'm
drinking a Santa Fe Pills bot. That was off the
I don't know if
cuff, too.
Oh man, I'm. These aren't hitting for me. I'm gonna be honest. When I had
Ooh.
Catman, it didn't hit for me either. So this is 3 from the same brewing that I'm just like I'm not blown
No,
away
2 from
by.
the same brewing.
Well, this is my
company.
third one by
third
this
one.
brewery.
Oh, okay. No, I get you now. Yeah.
But once again, I'm not a smart beer. Like I don't know much about beer, so I don't know what about it is I'm not digging. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
the way that I don't know. I think maybe the combination of the hops really, because this tastes like sweet and sharp to me, and like I could just taste it. It's like the sharpness of the alcohol.
Well, the flavor profile
This
is
one's a little
juicy,
odd, yeah.
smooth, creamy, stone fruit, and deep. The fuck does deep mean? Bro, it's so deep, bro.
It's so deep.
Oh man, this beer just gets me. It's so
16
deep.
ounces of philosophical nonsense.
Oh my god,
That sounds a little odd.
It
Yeah.
is. It really is. It makes you think a little bit.
It's fucking with your brain.
Yeah.
It's turning your brain to stew.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Nailed it is right. But yeah, yeah, I really don't know how to feel about that. I think, you know what? I'll go.
Go ahead.
I'll probably give it a 3.
Really?
A 3, yeah.
Let me get it. Let me get another whippoorwill. Get another little whippoorwill here. I
Okay.
just made up a word.
Doesn't really smell at all.
The whippoorwill up in Frackville.
Dude, I'm not into it.
Just something about
They're
it.
like
man.
malty and boozy. What's the date on these?
Let's take a look.
6/16/20.
5/19/20.
So they're not old.
Yeah, but it's just only like maybe like close to a few months. That's very interesting how they are, and they're just like regular IPAs too. That's the funny part.
I don't want to like shit on it, but I'm not into it.
No, I'm telling you, 3. It's okay, but it's not the greatest. It's not like the double dry hop Galaxy Bliss. For me, at least.
I don't like this one.
You don't like it?
No.
What do you score? You're not scoring it?
No, I mean, come on, it's an IPA. I gotta score it.
I'm giving it a 3 as well. I'm gonna tag along with Ben.
I'm
Nothing
just
wrong with that.
gonna
I've
give
tagged
it
along
a
enough.
2.5.
2.5.
Yeah.
Like what domestic beer for you is a 2.5? Like for me,
Well,
like 2.5 means I don't hate it, but I would keep drinking it. Like, so here's the thing. I think I'm giving it more points because of the craft beer. But if I was at a bar and I've had this on tap and they're like, we have this on tap and everything else is just domestic, I would immediately switch over to domestic and drink Miller Lite the rest of the night.
Oh wow.
I would drink PBR if I could. I mean, PBR is
Yeah.
like my go-to. Like,
Is that a 2.5 for you with PBR, or is it higher?
oh my, that's probably like a 4 or 5 or something. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I love PBR. Yeah. That's
Wow.
I'm sure it's like in the
Like a
fours.
Miller Lite
I'm
for
not
me is like a 2.5. Like that's a beer it's like a consistent beer.
I could go with
I
Miller
wouldn't
Lite.
seek it out, but if it's there, I'll drink it. Type like it's like Bud Light, Miller Lite, like the domestics. That's where I start my 2.5. I'm giving this a 3 because I know that craft beer takes more than just making a large batch of Miller Lite.
I mean, it's definitely got high alcohol content in it.
That's what's giving it the extra points, I believe.
But for me, I mean, oh my god, I've drank so much beer, so many different IPAs and stuff, and I mean, this is
And
my
how many
forte,
can you
kinda,
how many
so-
can you really remember though? Like that really like kind of blew. I mean, there's a few that blew you away, but like having it like years later, like does it have the same effect or is it very similar? You know what I mean?
A lot of IPA, like some of the IPAs that I've had, have lost their pizzazz over the years. Like Sip of Sunshine's one for me that
Yeah.
kind of like. I mean, I have it and it's still good, but it's not what it used to be. It's not that like kind of out of
It's kind of like
reach
that
beer,
gate,
you
like
know?
that
It's
gateway, and you're like, wow, like it really tasted like like you wanted to really savor that beer, but now you're just drinking and you're like, well, okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's good and I like it and I still pick it up, but it's just, I wouldn't bend over backwards for
Yeah,
it.
I'll grab it once in a while, if anything. if
So I
need
have
be.
some more beer news I can kind of talk about here.
Go
Yeah, go ahead.
So Yingling had a surprise unannounced beer.
Yeah, okay, BDE. Here we go.
I hate BDE saying Big Dick Energy, but the
Good job, Tony.
The only reason that we know about this beer
Mm-hmm.
is because of this podcast.
Oh, wow.
Someone reached out to my personal page and
Oh,
said,
wow.
"I'm not sure if you're aware of this. I have friends who work at Yingling, and they said they are doing a mango beer. All I was told was a mango beer. I wasn't told what type of beer, and the lady who was pouring it didn't really know either. To me, it tasted like a lager, but they can only my taster was literally this.
Oh, it's like an ounce shot.
It is literally the smallest taster because I guess what they were doing is when they had it, they were letting people do full growler fills and taking it home and giving people full pint glasses. And then I guess it got heard of and they were running low quick. And because I guess the whole point of this is they didn't want people to know like they did with the bourbon barrel and the
Too late.
But no, like what I'm saying, if they would have put it on their Facebook, it would have exploded.
Boom.
Because of with the COVID and everything like that, they didn't want everything flooded.
Right.
So I kind of went in and I was like, hey, and I'm looking at the tap system and I don't see any new taps. I don't see any new, and I'm just like, she's looking at me and she's like, she knew what I was there for, and I was like, "You guys have a mango beer?" And she kind of did the old look around. She's like, "Yep." And she gave me a little taster, and I was like, "Can I get a growler of this?" And I told her about the podcast. She's like, "I'm sorry, I can't." And I was like, "Fuck." So what I tasted was really good.
So Yingling dip it in their feet in a little bit more exotic
a
stuff.
fruity beer, like a fruit
Wow.
flavored beer.
Let me just ask you this: when you had it, okay, you said that it was like a lager. Did you think it sided more with like a flight?
Yes.
With the flight,
So
and then added a little bit of fruit into it, kind of like a Michelob
I
Ultra.
thought it was a mix.
fruit?
It was in between a flight and a lager. Like it wasn't super
Okay.
light, but it wasn't
Okay.
super log. It was like right in the middle.
Okay. All right. No, that makes a lot of sense, and that would be a good price point because, like, a good point to make because that's what Michelob usually does. They did like a prickly pear. They do like certain fruit Michelob Ultras, and that's a good thing, especially having mango. Like, if you can nail mango, what the hell? Why not do it? You know what I mean? So
It was, but the only problem with it is like I mean, from what I remember, it was good, but it was such a small tasting. I couldn't really.
you couldn't really taste it.
Yeah.
So if you maybe had something like this, maybe filled up halfway, you probably would have gotten a better assessment of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I'm excited. I think
Okay.
it's a cool thing that Yingling's doing,
Yeah.
and I'd be interested to hear more of it.
I'd be curious to see what fruits they would do, especially with that type of beer.
Yeah. And then another beer that we have, we're just not doing it on this episode. We'll probably push it off till next week,
Mhm.
and add it to that lineup. I
Okay.
think next week we're going to go back to just everyone bringing a beer or two they're on their own and kind of go back to that for a little bit. And then
Don't forget, I have the Levante.
that's because you be buying too much too quick.
Dude, we have an episode.
All right, we'll do a Levante
Okay.
the week after that one. Yeah.
See, we're trying to build up the show content, and then we have beer
Well, you don't say anything. You just like, hey, by the way, I bought 14 different beers from 18 different places.
I didn't buy 14 different beers. I
Yeah.
only bought 6.
And you're like, hey, I can go get a bunch of Aslan. We've had Aslan on the show 14 times.
No, come on.
I've checked in 15 Aslan beers.
I'll tell you the one
Except for
thing
occasions.
I will say about Yingling is like I've been watching a lot of Hulu lately.
Okay.
Every time I watch Hulu, there's a Yingling commercial on. Every single time, I swear to God. And it's mostly like the welcome back type commercial as far as like welcoming back, people because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then the flight one, like they're
Yeah.
pushing those like super hard.
Yeah.
But man, every time I watch Hulu, I swear they have like a Yingling commercial on there.
I didn't see that, and I watch Hulu a lot.
I don't. They probably like know I'm a alcoholic or something.
I think I'm undercover on my Hulu stuff.
They're like, show them some beer commercials.
They're like, because probably what's happening is I think your TV listens to you, and it's just probably your wife going, "You fucking drink too much.
Yeah,
You're
maybe.
buying more beer."
Welcome to Yingling.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the other beer that we have that we're gonna eventually get to the show, so we're gonna do Levante next Friday, and then the next week we'll go back to bringing beers. So
Okay.
our first guest brewery was Mellow Mink.
Yes.
One of my favorite style of beers is peach flavored beers,
Mhm.
and one of my newer favorite breweries in the area has become Evergreen. They make some fantastic
Evergreen's
beers.
great, yeah.
They've been really kicking
And
it
they
too. I
collabed.
really like it.
They collabed and made a peach sour. Did you get one yet?
No, but I heard about it.
I
Yeah.
I can give you a can.
I
Oh,
have
cool.
one,
Yeah,
no
I'll-
biggie.
yeah.
No.
You're gonna give him a can?
I'll give him a can. Okay.
Is it here?
No, I don't have it.
I'll give you one of my cans, and he can replace my can, so you
All
can
right,
leave here with one.
That's cool. Yeah.
I'm gonna be
That'll
honest.
work.
I thought it was a great. I really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite peach flavored beers.
Traditional sour done right with a little bit of peach.
I just feel like
It was light.
I think they do a great job with their sours.
Mhm.
I think Mellow Mink does a great job with their sours.
Mhm.
And I'm like being a peach. And I think during the episode I said, if you ever make a peach flavored beer, let me know. I don't think we influenced it at all, but I mean, they made a peach flavored
Yeah.
beer, and I thought it was a home run. They
It
did a
was pretty
great,
good,
They did a
yeah.
great job.
I liked it.
Yeah, anyone who collabs with Evergreen, I think I'm on board with, and they're literally a stone throw from each other. So I hope they work more in the future.
Evergreen, seriously, I'm starting to really grow attached to them because did you have the Deuce Juicy?
Yes,
That's a stellar double.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that double.
I'm gonna be honest. This may be a little. Now this isn't saying one's not good,
Mm-hmm.
but But I think when it comes to preference, I think I lean more towards Evergreen than I do New Trail.
I feel like that there's a little bit more quality control with Evergreen, to tell you the truth. That's just me.
I don't know if it's quality. I don't know their quality control process. New Trail makes great IPAs.
Yeah.
But I think the style that Evergreen does is more up my alley.
I think the process really is something.
It is very hard for me though to beat Pocket Knife or Broken Heel. They're just two stellar IPAs.
No, don't forget too. We didn't really have we had some Evergreen on the show, but we didn't really have it on a large scale. Like we tried, like the standard stuff. And
that was one of the episodes we were trying to do before COVID happened.
Yeah.
I said I'm getting a little burnout New Trail.
Yeah.
I mean, because like I've had, we
did
talking about it a little before the show.
I think it was during the COVID when you weren't able to be here.
Yeah.
We did an episode where we had like 5 different New Trail IPAs because we really wanted to see, do they all taste the same?
That was the one with Andy when his first Bangin beers.
And they don't.
Yeah.
Even someone who hates beers, Andy Header, hates beers. He said every single one of them has a different taste.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
That was a funny episode too.
I think like I'm on my 3rd sixtel from them, like in a row,
Yeah.
And I can tell you that they definitely are putting like sugar and lactose and stuff in some of their IPAs, and not telling you.
Are you having the runs after you're drinking it too?
I can tell.
Okay.
I know it's something. But I will say, as far as Neutral goes, Double Broken Heel is back.
New label.
Yeah, they redid the label a little bit, so that's back. But
it's like an amber ale.
I don't know, bud. I haven't given up on them, that's for sure, and I will continue to pick up their stuff, especially anything that's new. That's an IPA, but
yeah, fair enough.
There's some dude that toppling Goliath for me lately.
All right, so the beer's name is Stink Bomb. That's why I had to smell it. So first, people watching, you're like, why did he sniff the beer? I mean, I sniff everything, but it is.
I sniffed the beer too at one point.
It's called Stink Bomb. So.
I sniffed Ben's finger last episode.
That
was last episode.
That is a darker beer. I'll tell you what. So. I think this is my first KCBC beer.
I think we might have had 1 or 2 on the show.
Wasn't the CBGB in? What was that? Was that in Brooklyn?
CBGB.
The club.
Yeah. So I guess that's where they're getting their.
Well, in New York, yeah.
I know it was in New York. I just don't know what.
I'm not sure.
Because they're out of Brooklyn, and it's Kings County Brewers Collective.
Yeah.
If they got their inspiration from CBGB, that's awesome. They have some of the coolest can art. I'm gonna say right now, it's gonna be very hard to beat this for can art of the night, for me.
Yeah, I agree.
They have such amazing can art. I know the one that I was trying to get for my dad while he lives in New York. So all these beers for the most part are New York beers. I believe, right? They're all from New York.
Yeah, Thin Man, New York, KCBC.
Also New York.
Yeah, New York.
So these are we got them all when we were up in New York. So. They had this one that was like a Mario Kart beer, and it was like Bowser on it, but it was like a cat.
Okay.
But they have great can art.
I was thinking a Barrier with that blue shell.
Yeah, that's actually right here.
Yeah, I liked that beer. That was really good. Thanks to It's Just Beer podcast for that.
Well, speaking of those guys, while Jason's pouring, was it next week or the week after?
I think it's next week, yeah.
Next week, Dan will come up and hang out with us. He's going to crash at Ben's house. He's going to join the table next week. So the head of the table will be a guest spot for It's Just Beer podcast. Dan, does he brew beer or he just works under marketing?
He works with Industrial Arts. He's like a delivery driver. He works like with them. He out of the blue said to me, he goes, "Hey,
I'm coming up."
He's like, "Hey, do you mind if I do an episode with you guys?" And I'm like, I don't care.
He's gonna drive from New York and come do an episode.
I go, I don't care. Like, if you're okay with the drive, I don't care.
We might
always a place to stay.
Realistically, if he's here, if he wants to hang out for 2 days, or if he wants to hang out for the weekend, I'm down to doing a Friday and Saturday episode.
I don't mind.
I mean, I know that not everybody can make both episodes, but if he's here, I want to at least make his time worth it.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I'll have to I want to message him after the show, and I'll definitely talk to him about it.
And then what we can do is the weekend after or the weekend after that, we can go meet. Probably just me and you can go up to New York, spend the weekend up there, and hang out with those guys.
Oh boy, that's gonna be fun.
I'm bringing.
I hear Dan's lips smacking and cracking and
Well,
all.
he tagged when I said
No, Uncle Dan. I mean,
I know, yeah, Uncle Dan. When I made my post saying I was up in New York, he goes, "When are you going to come back to New York and do a real beer episode?"
Oh boy.
And I was like, "Let's figure it out." So they definitely want us up there. So
oh, I know.
All right, who wants to go first on this one?
We're gonna have a whole hootenanny up there, man.
A hootenanny.
I'm with the oldie time words. I don't know how to really feel about this. This comes out like flat and just like a little bit of hop flavor out of that.
That's what I'm getting. Like it's very like this sort of flat.
This almost drinks to me like a lager.
Yeah, it doesn't taste like much of an IPA.
I'm gonna be honest though, I like it.
It does taste.
I think it really does cut the. It really does have like.
Kind of smells like a shitter.
You can crush this
a little bit.
Oh my god, yeah. So let me look that up. Stink Bomb. Okay, this is an American IPA clocking at 6.9%.
It's funny, the can says West Coast.
ABV.
It does.
Yeah. Some of these people really screw up on these. Kings County Brewers Collective. They're from Brooklyn, New York. Blasting your taste buds with a lupulin-laden payload of citrus, Simcoe, Centennial, Eureka, and Idaho Gem hops with a classic WC IPA malt base for support. Orange zest, lemon pith, and pine resin. Crisp, clean, and refreshingly bitter. Blow it up. Hoppy, bitter, or aromatic, dank, and fragrant. And everyone 339 check-ins at 3.99.
You know, I'll be honest. This is a typical beer that I would see that can, and I would see West Coast on it, and I would see all those hops and Stink Bomb and stuff, and I would like buy this on that label at home, on that label on its own. But I drank it, and I do not like it.
It's like to me, this drinks like a hoppy lager.
It doesn't taste like an IPA to me.
June 1st, 2020, so a month old.
I know it's telling me it's an IPA, but like I said, with this darker amber color, it drinks like a lager to me. I really like this.
I feel like it's a central.
Oh, come on, Win. You're blowing it up. You're letting people know that we're not in Joe Rogan's podcast studio.
Breaking the illusion.
Yeah.
So with this beer, it kind of feels like it's like a central IPA because it wants to be a New England, but it wants to be a West Coast, but it's in the middle, central in the United States. That's how I feel about that.
I don't know. I'm into it.
Hey, different. Hey, this might be a polarizing with this one. I don't know.
It's gonna be hard. I'm gonna be honest. It's gonna be hard for beer of the night for me. Cause the next two that we're gonna have, I've had it already. I'm gonna go 3.75 with this.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I'm not. When I say I liked it, I'm not saying it was like my favorite,
the greatest, but
time.
It was just something. It was just something different that you're like, okay,
coming
I can
off
deal
these
with
last
this.
two beers, I like.
Yeah. No, I totally get you. It's all about the right place at the right time. I would give that. It would be a solid 3.25 for me. The Stink Bomb. It's okay. Like I said, it's a central IPA.
Yeah.
Central IPA. That would just be the perfect way to really describe this beer.
It's hoppier, and you taste those hops and the aftertaste, and not the upfront taste, which is different.
Yeah,
it's different.
Central IPA.
Well, for people who don't understand that, I'm trying to.
All right. West Coast is more piney, earthy. New England styles like juicy, juicy, a little bit more earthy.
Yeah. All right. So before we get into our last two of the night,
I didn't give my score
from Warhorse. Go ahead, Jason. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better be.
Yeah.
He hates it. No.
I do. I don't like it. It's like for me, like it's it's funny, you kind of said it was flat, and then I kind of tasted it, kind of tastes overcarbonated to me.
Maybe.
But I don't know. It's like a
Oh, really?
It's like a 2.5.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, dude. I mean, right away. I'll be honest. If I start to get into this before we kind of went off. And if I saw this beer, I would buy this beer in a heartbeat just looking at the can art.
Yeah.
And I love West Coast IPAs, but I love like
when you see West Coast, you're thinking it's gonna taste like a Christmas tree.
When I see West Coast, I think very, very dank, super dank. It's gonna taste like it's gonna be like weedy, danky, stinky. Yeah, and I just don't get any of that. So yeah, sorry, but the can art's great. Beer is.
Would you rather bullshit yourself or be honest?
It's a
225. No problem.
Okay.
All right. So before we get into Warhorse and I do my whole spiel here, we are going to address one quick thing regarding some controversy in this show.
Yes.
I probably should do it at the head of the show, but fuck it, we'll squeeze it in here because. So I'm very mixed on this, right? Mm-hmm. So we commissioned Sam Mills to do our logo.
Yes.
We were very impressed with his art through Nightmare Brewing Company and had a conversation with him. I had a great conversation. Seemed like a really cool guy. Mm-hmm. I still think personality-wise, I had a conversation with him. I don't have any ill feeling towards him. Mm-hmm. But also, I think we live in a time right now where cancel culture and people's opinions dictate the way you should conduct yourself as a creator or as an artist or as in anything. Mm-hmm. And I don't condone. First off, I don't really know where he stands. I'm going to be honest because art's very interpretational.
Interpretive.
Interpretive. Like his art, everyone can look at the art and see it in different lights. Mm-hmm. Some people see it, they see the Democratic Party, they see George Soros, they see a Nazi flag, and they see Black Lives Matter, and they immediately said
Marxist
and then they're saying, well, he's saying Black Lives Matter is bad. And I think what he's trying to say is that these people are making money possibly off these funds. Which it is a conspiracy theory. That's one of the theories out there about the movement. I don't agree with that. I hope that's not the case because I do. Mm-hmm. The general root of what Black Lives Matter is pushing for and is about, mm-hmm. I personally support it. Me mm-hmm. personally. Mm-hmm. But once again, I'm not gonna shun somebody or put them down for their beliefs or now. If you are racist, if you are homophobic, if you are transphobic. I will have a hard time conversing with you and having a legit conversation because you because of what your views and beliefs are. But if you if you're someone who says I don't understand this and you're willing to have an open dialogue, I'm cool with that. And I think that's important to do instead of shutting people down for their views or their beliefs.
Kind of understanding where they're coming from with it and giving them whether you don't want to hear it or not, a fair shot in what they're thinking.
Exactly. Now, here's the thing. You put the Democratic Party and Nazi symbolism around them, and people get really upset about it. But how many times... Now, once again, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I personally hate fucking politics. I think there's not one politician out there that I feel is out there for me. Mm-hmm. So I just stay away from politics. But how many times have we seen, or have you seen personally... Any one of you have seen imagery of Trump and comparing him to Hitler. It's out there all over the place.
All over.
I don't see any of those
political
artists.
Cartoons and all.
Dude, I don't see any of those artists being condemned or being shut down.
The thing is, though, if he would have I honestly didn't think we were going to talk about. I thought this was kind of done with the post that we put on our page.
I wanted to because we haven't addressed it on the show.
But the thing is, if he would have did that picture and he would have put a picture of Trump instead of Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden, if it would have been Trump and Pence, no one would have fucking cared. You know what I mean? So, he did what he did. I mean, I commend him for being ballsy. He didn't take it down. He got a lot of fucking backlash for it. He got a lot of shit. A lot of people caved in. You know what I mean? We did this and everything else before he did that. You know? I mean, this is a beer show. It's not a fucking politics show. Exactly. Whatever his beliefs are and our beliefs are, it doesn't matter because we're not here. I'm not here to talk about politics. I'm here to talk about beer. You know? Mm-hmm. So... I'm separating the two, you know what I mean? Exactly. So whatever he thinks or feels, I'm I'm not going to condone him because that's his right as an American to think and do whatever he wants.
And that's exactly
and it has
where I was
nothing to do with our logo
our show,
or anything. It's not. We didn't hire him because we like that he did political cartoons or something. It was. We did this all before it even happened. You know, like there's no comparison.
Oh wow!
Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. There we go.
And I was kind of like from Not Cool in high school. I was watching Struggle. It's the life and like the erasure of that Shatalsky guy on Netflix, and he had. It was a very ironically enough, it's a very similar position where Stalin actually commissioned him to make a statue of him, and basically all he did was okay. Just made it. He was getting money for it, and that's really what it came down to.
Yeah.
And, whether you don't care for the guy or not, I mean, again, like what Jason said.
One of the things Jason said about he does have his freedom to have his beliefs.
Yes.
And I think that's very important to have. I think because that's one thing we are losing sight of. Because if either you're far right or you're far left, and the people in the middle are kind of like, well, if you don't believe what we believe, you're kind of being torn apart.
Yeah, but we don't even know what he believes.
We don't.
And what he does. They have those little political cartoons in the paper all the time that are totally racist and totally like anti-government this way or that way. And I mean, it's like a national thing. It's just like
so. Here's in a nutshell where we're gonna end with this.
The takeaway.
Yeah, the takeaway. We're not changing the logo. It is one of the things.
Why would we?
It's one of those things where we are always open to if somebody wants to say, if someone approaches us and says, "Hey, I like your show and I have a really cool piece of art," and you show it to us, and whatever you think what your cost is, we will work with you and possibly buy it off you and use it for our show.
Yeah.
So this is not the permanent logo, but this is one of many. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of want with our show. It's
ever changing. It's progressive.
Exactly. So this is not our permanent logo for all time.
Right.
But we are open to more different artists and stuff. We got him because he did beer art that we were a fan of.
Yeah.
I mean,
now one of the things is when I started this whole podcast network and this whole podcast channel, growing up, I was obsessed and idolized and worshipped Howard Stern. And one thing about Howard Stern is, and the same thing with Joe Rogan, is he's willing to have conversations with every spectrum of person.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lose that. I really don't. If I have someone on the show who doesn't think the same way you think, and you want to cancel culture me, go for it. I'm at the point where I don't care, because I think when you start shutting down everything, you're just going against what you're fighting for in the first place. So I said every single person on the show has a different view, a different take on every single topic, but I think that's...
If you're not learning, then what's the point?
Freedom is freedom, not until you're uncomfortable with it.
Right.
Just because you're uncomfortable with it doesn't mean you have the right to take away somebody else's freedom. I may not agree with everything that you may agree with or you agree with, but that's the beautiful thing about being an American is we're able to have those freedoms. With that being said, Warhorse Brewing Company, which is all themed of World War II and America and fighting and loving the troops and all that cool shit. This is a beer called Change, right? So this is a series beer.
I got under the fingernail on that one. That was bad.
The Change is something that rotates all the time. These are double dry hopped.
Change, rotating double dry hop IPA, and this one is Mandarina, Belma, and Muteka.
So they've had one already that was a Bob Ross version.
Mutaka.
They had a Reptar version, a MacArthur version, a John Lennon version, a Marilyn Monroe version, and this version is someone who I think is a really cool dude, Hunter S. Thompson.
I was gonna say, is that like Hunter S?
So this is the Hunter S. Thompson version.
This is the Hunter Sour.
Nut.
So I apologize if we got on a weird topic there, but this is something that we were talking about for a while, and people were approaching our page about. So that's all done.
Yes.
It's over. Let's go back to beer.
Yes, and stick with beer
as we go into Hunter S. Thompson, who's a political.
This is canned on 6/24/2020. It's a Hunter Sour Ale IPA.
I did not have this in can yet. I had this on draft. So when we went in this place, this place is It has like 5 wineries and 1 brewery in it. It has food.
It's the Finger Lakes in New York, right?
Yes, but I'm talking about the building this is in.
No, I'm about just saying
Yeah.
location, like just general location.
Switch up my glass.
You're gonna switch it up.
Give it a new
I
glass.
personally, so kind of how Jason felt coming back from North Carolina and saying, down in North Carolina there was good beers, but I think we're very spoiled being in Pennsylvania because a lot of people make.
Yeah, PA makes good beer.
PA
There's
makes
no
them.
doubt about it.
You know what? I after having the New York beers I had up there, I would 100% agree with them. One of the main breweries that really stood out to me was Warhorse, and this is one of the only breweries where I was able to buy a can of something and bring it back. I was really impressed with these guys. I did have a conversation with the guy one of the main guys of this, and he ties into a little bit of the next beer we'll talk about in a second.
Okay.
But this place is fantastic. I have a shirt, I have a glassware. I really enjoyed it. They had a shit ton of beers on tap, but the only thing that kind of was a turnoff a little bit. I'll be honest. I don't want everything to be positive. I want to be honest. When you get flights, you have to pick by category. So there's group 1, group 2, and group 3, and they group them together by styles of beer. So you can't really say I want. Now the reason they do that is when you walk up, I guess if they're really busy, because that place gets packed because it has 5 wineries.
That makes much sense. Yeah.
I need a number 1. They know right away number 1 is the first 5 taps, and number 2 is the second 5. So
well, that does make sense.
If they're not busy,
Yeah.
they're technically not supposed to do it. But if they're not busy, they'll be like, if you want to swap 1 or 2 out, we'll work with you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, there's compromise. That's a good thing from a brewery. I know that my mom got me some stuff when they went to the Finger Lakes to Warhorse, and they got me like the broadcast, and then there was like Lieutenant Dan. I think they got me,
Lieutenant Dan's a good beer.
That's
and
fun.
she got me
There's
a
a
Belgium quad.
There's a Lieutenant Dan and there's a Double Dan.
Okay,
Both really good.
I think it might have just been the Lieutenant Dan that they got.
And we
me.
had the Churchill on this beer. We had their Churchill.
Yeah, the nitro oatmeal.
Yeah. So while we're pulling this up, now one of the good things that I really want to commend Warhorse for, and we did it when they had the Churchill. Were you here for the Churchill?
No.
It's like a breakfast coffee beer.
Oh wait, yeah, I think I was. That
Yeah.
was really good.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Their write-ups on Untapped are absolutely fantastic, and it's probably my favorite thing about the brewery. One of my other favorite things about the brewery as well. So, Ben, go ahead and read off the Change Rotating Double Dry Hop Sour IPA Hunter S. Thompson.
I am definitely getting to that. So, this is Change, the Rotating Double Dry Hop Sour IPA, the Hunter S. Thompson version
Just
from
repeat
Warhorse
everything I
Brewing
said.
Company. Hey, they're tuning in. Sour IPA, 6.8 ABV. I got 1 check-in. Friends, 1 check-in at 3.75. Everyone is 79 check-ins at 3.52. They are from Geneva, New York, Warhorse. Just what is it that makes Change so different, so appealing? Change allows you to take where you are and what you are and make it different. Change isn't about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself. Change tests you. They can calm seas, never made great sailors. So let's lift anchor and head to uncharted waters. Keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. To remove the distance from the maker to you, that is the goal of this Change series. To allow brewers to change with the movement of environment that the demands of statistical analysis or the whim and whimsy being chased on any given day. We promise to be ready to take what life gives and try our best to make something beautiful. We hope you do too. Always an IPA and always fresh. Please check back often to see what new change our gang has cooked up at Warhorse Brewing. Sour, light, crisp, lemony, wet.
So this
Wet.
this beer to me,
We had a beer that was deep, and now we have a beer that's wet.
Wet.
so this beer to me, it doesn't blow my socks off, but I think it's a very good beer. Now, I don't know if they did this on purpose or if they actually knew Hunter, like if they're fans of Hunter S. Thompson. But one of the big things he was into is when he would take insane amount of drugs. Is he would always have grapefruits or lemons or any type of citrus fruit.
Well, that's good.
Because it enhanced his high.
Mm.
And this beer has lemon and I think orange and stuff in it.
Yeah. Now,
when it comes to other sours I have, I've had way better sours.
Yeah.
But I think this is a good, easygoing sour. It doesn't overbear you. And I
Would
think
you
it's
say that it's a good starter?
100%. If you're brand new to the sour game, this is good for you.
This is a very light sour in
Very,
my
very light.
palate. Like, if
Very
you really want to
refreshing.
get it to dip your toes in, hell, when I checked it in, I gave it a 3.75. I said it's a great introductory sour. And even Warhorse even commented on my check-in and are like, hey, thanks for checking in.
They make sure they follow everyone's check-ins.
That's awesome.
I also gave
appreciate
it a 3.75.
them.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. And that really gives that brewery, whoever follows and gives that comment or a toast, that much of a better rapport with me.
We are going to be doing an interview with somebody from Warhorse. Very,
boy.
Very, very soon.
We should have the Belgium quad that I have, because you can actually age that.
Well, here's the thing.
It's a bottle, too.
I already, before this show already even happened, I called my dad. I said, I need another 4-pack or 2 of Hazleton Hero.
All right.
I really want people in this area to experience this beer.
Yeah. So you're going to go with totally different people or just our group?
Our group.
Okay.
But I also want I want people to realize something once we get into this more in this beer even more. So
Okay.
Jason, if you want to give your review
Go for it.
of the change.
I'm not a big fan of this
I
one.
didn't think you would be.
I mean, like,
Our only sour of the episode.
yeah.
Oh, we got another one.
Thank you so much for the follow. I can't really see it. I follow you. Can burp. Hey man, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it.
So it's a sour IPA, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're not normally a sour guy either.
No, I mean, like, I hate to say it because, like, it's
Say
not.
what you gotta say,
yeah,
man.
it's like a 2.25 for me. I mean, I
Kinda
really
figured,
hate
yeah.
to kind of say that, but
It's not your
just,
style of beer.
Well, it is. It's an IPA, and I like sours, but it's just not. I don't know. I don't like that one. But maybe the lager will surprise me. Maybe
Yeah.
that will be.
I think the only thing that I would say with this one that I thought maybe was a bad, not my favorite choice, and I think it's not just this one. I think with sours in general, we had another sour that was kind of
Mhm.
similar to this. Is when you do a sour and you do lemon, you could easily get that cleaner taste where you feel like
Yeah.
it's a cleaner.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of lemon in beer.
Yeah, I mean,
I
look,
don't mind.
I'm just being honest with you guys, man. I hate to, like, especially when you're talking to the guy at the brewery and stuff. Like, I don't want to, like, shit all over.
No,
it,
they
you know
like
what I
honest
mean?
opinions.
But, like, for me personally, if I told you anything different, I'd be lying. You
Yeah.
know, and I feel like I'd be dishonesty to the show.
go ahead,
you know?
crack that and get that
Look,
ready.
you inflate the rating. You know what I mean? That's probably the worst thing that somebody can do, because then you give them that false confidence into what they actually want to do.
There it
You know what I
is.
mean? And you know what I mean? Like, it's always nice to
Let
always
Jason go
have that
next.
person opinion. Having that personal opinion, be like, yo, I did not like this beer. This is not my style. Hey,
I just don't want to
I'm
lie to
do-
people.
yeah,
No,
it's just like
100%.
whatever. It is what it is. Like,
It was. Listen, I'm not gonna smash the mic with a huge burp. I've been burping the whole time. I try
who
to
the
be
hell
polite about
saying
it.
that?
There's a guy that says burp and I follow on Twitch. Anyway, he said if you burp, you keep the follow. There you go. You got 3 burps. That's a trifecta. All right, so I walk into Warhorse Brewing Company. I drove 2-3 hours, whatever it may be, to get to this vacation
got a
spot
chunk on that one.
up into the Finger Lakes of New York City.
Yeah.
I walk in the front door. I turn and look at their beer wall, and I see a beer that says Hazleton Hero. And I go, what the like, Hazleton's 15, 20 minutes away from us. What is there, like, is there another Hazleton I don't know about? Like,
Mhm.
what is the history of this? And I
Yeah.
said, I don't care if there's a Hazleton in the Finger Lakes. It's hilarious that they have a beer named Hazleton. I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
I didn't even
yeah.
taste it. I said, the first beer I'm buying when we walk into that place is the Hazleton Hero. Now, the cool thing is when you walk in, you get a flight. You can pay for a flight. But if you pay for a pint of beer, you keep the glass.
All right, there you go.
That's a killer
That's
deal.
a nice incentive.
Yes. So I'm already sold there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I buy, I'm like, I need a flight and I also want a pint of Hazleton Hero. And if you can swap out the Hazleton Hero that's in the flight with something else, that's cool too.
Mm-hmm.
And they hooked me up. Now, Hazleton Hero, I go and I do my check-in, and once again, Warhorse has an amazing write-up, and it says, and this is what I read sitting in this bar.
Go for it.
It says Gramps, a.k.a. Big Mike, Meathau, I hope I'm saying that correct, was born 1925 in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. So already reading this is a hometown beer for me, even though I am away from home. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. I don't care what people say. I know a lot of people say, where we're from is terrible and you don't like it. And I'm proud of where I'm from. And I know that's Luzerne County, but it's a rock throw away. I still feel like we're all the same.
I'm proud of where I'm from, but I'm not proud of where I live.
Yeah. But it says he was the youngest of 12 of a Slovakian immigrant parents. Grams was tall and handsome and had a smile and a vintage turn of phrase that would make you feel like you were his best friend. Grams was a heck of a storyteller, and he had a deep well to which to draw. Stories of his early life in a coal town, his time in the Navy during World War II, his time in college, meeting up with his dream girl, marrying her, and starting a family, packing them up to move over and over, and then finally ending up in Rochester, New York. Anytime Grams would tell stories of his favorite local lager, it always seemed to make an appearance. The beer was a liquid time capsule that held all types of beautiful memories. Our brewery was built in that hope, which whenever you would enjoy a pint of Warhorse, you would find a way into your time capsule. Remembering the time you came to visit our brewery at Three Brothers in the heart of the Finger Lakes. Here's to Gramps and here's to you. So the whole reason that this family has started Three Brothers Winery and Brewery
because of this beer
is because of this gentleman. And now, Gramps, our Big Mike, is the epitome of what makes me be proud of where I'm from in Pennsylvania. Because when you go to a bar and you see that old timer sitting at the end of the bar and you have a conversation with him and he tells you about, busting your fucking ass and being a coal miner and being proud of where you're from and just having good stories, or putting your fucking chin strap on a Friday night and going out and playing a high school football game, like those stories and those good people are what makes me proud of being in the coal region of Pennsylvania that I'm from. And the fact that this guy was from our area, moved to the Finger Lakes of Rochester,
just bouncing around,
and then his family makes a brewery 3 hours away from our area, but carries that tradition because of what he instilled in his family, and makes a beer and names it after our town and him and his heritage, is fucking awesome to me. It makes me seriously proud of where I'm from.
No, it's a very valid reason.
Like, not only is this beer, this is more than beer to me. This is being exactly showing the reason why I'm proud of where I'm from. Because there's so much negative that you can say about this area, that we're infested with drugs, or maybe people are closed-minded, or people aren't educated.
But what are people doing about it to stop that? That's really what it comes down to.
But the thing is we're so easy to point out the negatives in our area, but this is the positives that get overlooked all the time.
Absolutely.
So,
I agree.
So cheers to Big Mike and to Gramps, man, because driving 3 hours away to have a beer named after your hometown area and carrying and reading that description in a bar, dude, it gave me goosebumps. I'm not even going to lie.
I'm glad.
You know what I mean?
That's like every beer for me, by the way, Tony.
Drinking this beer, what do you get out of it?
I get it's sweet. You could tell that it is definitely a lager, though. What
kind of lager? This is a Yingling Club.
I was just gonna say, Mike. Well, Tony, what kind of lager is it? What do you taste?
This is a Yingling clone, but a sweeter version of it.
It is. It has a sweet nose to it. It has that sweet taste, slightly biscuit, but it does taste like a lager.
And it doesn't have the Yingling aftertaste.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. Now that you pointed it out,
definitely. I think this is a good lager.
It's way too warm for a lager right now. I can tell you that.
It's our last beer of the night.
The fact that it's as warm as it is, it's destroying a lot of it for me.
I think a lot of the flavor comes out more. I'm going to be honest.
When I drink lager, I want it like
ice cold.
Ice cold. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
And the funny thing is, it has like that nice copper taste to it. Like, even though we're trying at slightly room temperature, slightly chilled.
Yeah, it's pretty warm.
It has that like coppery taste. It doesn't have that like rough aftertaste.
Right.
It's a smooth aftertaste.
It's definitely
when
like,
it comes to it.
got a cool like copper amber.
Yeah, it's
dark
definitely something that like you'll see like in the bars like in the 70s or 80s. Definitely like when they pour beer in a bar.
When I drank this beer before I read the review, I'm like, man, this is a blue collar Schuylkill County beer.
Yeah, like if I was at a bar and they had this on, like this was just a beer on tap, I'd drink the shit out of it. You know, like if it was just like a regular type beer, you know.
As a lager, I scored this a 4.25.
Wow.
Okay.
Cool. I mean, you're a lager guy, so that's good.
No, that's your category, man. Like we always
Yeah,
have preferences
I
and
agree.
all. Like that's your category, man.
There's the only other lager that I had recently that's on this par, besides being Yingling,
Oh no.
is Landon's Lager from Liquid Noise.
Okay. Yeah. No, that was actually a good lager too. That was.
Now, one of the things I really, really want to do with this lager and this beer in general, and being on the phone with him, I want to try to get in touch with Humble Tap in Humboldt. And I want to try to get Warhorse to come down and do a tap takeover.
Ooh.
But
that'd be pretty
bring
cool.
the Hazleton Hero.
I know the one dude who works there.
I want to bring the Hazleton Hero down along with some of their other beers. But I really want the community, I really want people to know that there's a beer made in New York that is a love child of Hazleton, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And I really I would love to try to get this beer in distribution down here.
That'd be pretty wild.
I honestly think if people out here can say I can go to the craft house in Monty City or the cake stand in Monty City, or we can help out a place in Hazleton and says I can buy a beer from New York that's made from the soul and heart of Hazleton, I think that's a good thing here.
Didn't Pizza Boy make a Hazleton beer like from Hazleton?
Hazleton native.
Yeah, there.
Yep.
Hazleton,
Yeah.
And then they made Hazleton Alien. Well,
yeah,
there you go.
no, that's kind of disgusting.
I'm sorry. But,
Hey.
I'm sorry, but that's the name of the beer, and the way that it goes. But
I mean, for me, like,
unfortunately,
if this was a lot colder and, like I said, it was in a bar, I would drink it all night. It's a 3 for me. I mean, I'm not a lager guy. I don't mind lager. I'm not a lager aficionado. I'm not an aficionado of anything, to be honest. But
you're like on
Yeah.
one end of the spectrum. You're obviously on the higher end.
but
of the spectrum.
I'm above par. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough.
It's,
Fair
Lagers
enough.
and pilsners are my favorite. I mean,
it's
if I
good.
had a thing, I would go lager, pilsner, IPA, sour.
Hey, that's your thing, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty much like the septic tank. Like I'll drink anything as long as it's good. You know what I mean? Like I don't mean to really sugarcoat a whole lot when it comes to it, but like if I try a good beer, it's gonna be a good beer. I'm gonna tell you what's the best thing about it, like the best qualities of it, how it tastes, and all. And besides the point, I'm actually gonna say 3.5 for the Hazleton Hero Lager. Has that sweet taste, biscuity at the end. Doesn't have that like metallic aftertaste.
Right.
Like it really has a lot going for it, and it's gonna be an enjoyable beer. So like, if you have a 4-pack or even a 6-pack of that, you're gonna be sucking those down, and it's gonna be consistent throughout the whole entire night.
And I was actually between like a 3 and a 3.25. I mean, I just, like I said, when it comes to lager and like malt liquors, ice cold, ice cold. I love it. Like I'll drink Hurricane, man. If it's just above freezing, not slush, but just above freezing.
Yeah.
And to me, it's fantastic.
And it's 5.3%, so you're getting an extra 0.3% on top of it too. So if you want to get drunk a few minutes quicker, well, there you go.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
This is going to be an interesting episode. I'm going to be honest right now.
It really is, because we got a sour, we got a lager, and then we had 4 IPAs, and then a central IPA with stink bomb in my opinion.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the part of the show we come down and we review. We'll start with the can art of the night.
That's easy for me.
Obviously, I'm gonna go with
The
KCBC.
Oh shit, there's still some in there.
So we got that. Woo.
I'll be honest though, that's like the coolest can art of the night, but actually for me, that was the most disappointing beer of the night for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, like, we try beers, we give honest opinions. Hey, improve from it.
I think beer of the night is going to be tough to come across.
Yeah, I think we're gonna end up with a 3-way tie because I know what I want to pick. I'm picking off right off the bat the first one, the double dry hop Galaxy
That's
Bliss.
the same for me.
Yeah, I'm torn between the Hazleton Hero and this. I would go Hazleton Hero as my number one, but the Galaxy is my number two.
That's definitely my favorite.
And I would go with Hazleton Hero because I would go third, the Change, because that was actually, like I said, it was a starter sour. It really is something a little bit different. They do a whole different type of spin on a sour.
What would your number two be?
This one here.
See, I wouldn't even be close to that. So here's what we'll do. We'll say I'll agree with you guys because this is very close for my number one as well. Your number two with Hazleton.
Yeah.
So I'll go two with you with Hazleton.
And that would actually be my third.
Yeah. So what would you be? What would be your third?
It would be this. This
Okay.
would be my third.
Out
This
of
is my second. This is
out
my
of this
third.
selection. What would be your third?
Well, that would be my fourth then.
Yeah.
Well, we're kind of like bumping.
It's
it
hard
up.
with-
I
it's hard
mean,
with
like
three people.
this was my second, you
Yeah.
know. So, and this was my third. So, if I had to pick one out of these,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it would be that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really a big fan of any of those.
I'm torn between the stink bomb and the change. I would go with that as well. So I'll say change with you just so we're.
And you know what? In all honesty, I'd flip a coin and go either one of those.
Yeah.
To be honest.
So
That was a good tie.
our beer of the night is going to be the Galaxy Double Dry Hop Bliss by Thin Man.
Yeah.
And our number 2 and number 3 spot is going to be from Warhorse Brewing Company. the
And that's
Hazel
cool.
Hero
I
and
mean,
change.
They have a solid stable
Yeah.
there.
I mean, Thin Man
No
2
pun
for me.
intended.
There's a lot in that one still. There's some change left.
Oh, you're right.
I crushed Hazel. I'll drink the stink bomb. I like that one a lot.
Eh.
I'll have a little bit of whatever afterwards, but no, this was a decent episode. Quick rip right through it. Just with the three of us. We kind of covered quite a bit. We did our thing here and there, and
So next
Yeah.
week, are we gonna do like where everyone brings something?
No, next
We're
week's
doing
going to be his
Levante.
Levante episode.
there's
So I
two
got some good
crowlers.
stuff I'm sitting on.
I know.
And it only stays fresh for so long.
All right, so everyone that's been tuning in or watches the replay back, we will be live. For some reason, when I do this on my Streamlabs, I picked that this is going to stream on Banging Beers. For some reason, it said, go fuck yourself. We're going to stay on Not Cool in High School. So I don't know why it's doing that. So this will be our show every Friday night at 9 o'clock. So if you like beer shows, we'll be here on Twitch. We'll be here on Facebook. You can catch the replay on YouTube or anywhere you could find audio podcasts under IWEP Network. Once again, above my head are all of the social media links. You could follow us. Thank you guys so much. We're getting really close to becoming affiliated, which would be fantastic, and we can people can tip us and donate us during the show, which will definitely help us out. Yeah, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been Bangin' Beers podcast. We'll see
first live show.
the first live show in a while.
In a while.
The new laptop show.
Yeah. If you're listening to this audio only, you get to hear the intro and outro music. If you're watching this on stream, we do not put the live music in because I think there's some copyright things there with music. It's weird. But if you are listening to the audio, here's some Ultra Violent, and we'll see you guys next time.